Hey folks, welcome to the Do-It-Yourself Dad channel. Today we're going to be showing you how to fix a leaky toilet. Now we're going to be showing you how to fix a toilet that is leaking around the base right here. If you've got a problem going on in the tank where water's coming into the bowl, that's a different valve and we're going to have a video on that shortly, so hit that subscribe button. But right now we're going to be working on the base down here. Now this is held down with two nuts and it's sealed with a wax ring. So you're going to want to run down to your hardware store, pick up one of these wax rings. I also have a link for it in the description below. You can check that out. Now the very first step is we're going to turn off the water. Your next step after turning off the water is you want to drain the water out of the tank. And the easiest way to do that is flushing the toilet. Now you could do this job by just unbolting the toilet and lifting it off right now, but it's going to make your life a lot easier if you remove the tank. The tank is heavy, but it also gets in your way when you're trying to get alignment on those putting everything back in, and taking the tank off is really not that hard. So let's show you how to take the tank off next. Come around underneath the tank, you're going to take this hose off the actual tank. This is what feeds water in. Some of these have a nice flange on here you can grab with your hands. Other ones you're going to have to get a wrench. And when you do this, a little bit of water is going to come out, so be prepared with some sort of a bucket to catch the water as it comes out. Now coming down to the underside of the tank, there are two screws that are going to come through and there's nuts on the underside. We're going to loosen up both of those. So now that the two nuts off, we can lift the tank out. Now you may still have a little bit of water in there, so you want to be careful about your floor and should probably have a towel ready to set this thing down on when you remove it. Now with our tank off, we can move down here and remove these bolts. On some toilets, there's going to be a little white cap, and you can remove that white cap first to get to the bolts, and you can take these right off. So the same thing applies here. When you lift your toilet up, you are going to have a little bit of water that may get out, so you do want to have some shop towels down to move your toilet onto. So here's the old wax ring. It actually fell off while we were pulling the toilet up, but you can see here, this is where it was making a nice seal, and this is where it was not, and therefore it was leaking. So we're going to throw this one out, we're going to put a new one in place, and we're going to get this toilet put back in. Before we put the new seal in place, you do want to get to the underside of the toilet and make sure there's no seal that is left stuck on the bottom of the toilet. Get in there with a rag and some cleaner and clean that thing up. Now your new wax ring should have come with new hardware, and we're going to go and replace that old hardware with new hardware. Ours actually, one of the bolts had completely rusted through, and that was part of the problem. And once you get those new screws in place, there's this little retaining ring. You slide that down. And what this thing does is this holds it upright, so you don't have to hold these in place while you're trying to seat the toilet on top. The next step is putting the wax ring in place, and there's going to be a cover here. After you remove the cover, the wax ring itself sits right here between those two screws. And now we can drop the toilet down. You're going to drop the toilet so the holes in the toilet line up right on top of these two screws that are coming up through the floor. Now you can use the new supplied hardware to hold it down. You're going to put the washer and then the nut on top, and you don't want to over tighten this, just enough to hold it in place. Next, we can reinstall the tank the same way we uninstalled it before. And finally, turn the water back on to refill the tank. And that's all there is to it. Your toilet's good to go, and when you flush it, you don't get poop on your feet. So if this video helped you out at all, give me a great big thumbs up. Go down below, leave me a comment, let me know what kind of stuff you'd like to see on the channel. And of course, thanks for watching.